Hello there. Are you ready for tonight's story? Well, tonight we're going to read a book called Finders Keepers, and it's by Keika Kasza. Are you ready? One day, a squirrel found a big acorn. "Yay! Finders keepers!" he cried. "I'm going to save this for later," thought the squirrel. So he dug a hole and buried it. Then he left his hat to mark the spot. "You stay put, hat," said the squirrel. "I'll be back tomorrow." But once the squirrel had gone, the wind began to blow. It lifted the hat higher and higher until it landed in a tree next to a little bird. "Wow, what a terrific nest!" cried the bird. "Finders keepers!" She snuggled into her new nest, but soon it began to wobble. It wobbled and wobbled until it fell into a nearby stream. The hat quickly floated along until an ant spotted it. "Yippee! What a nice boat!" cried the ant. "Finders keepers!" The ant hopped on board and sailed on until splash! A big wave nearly turned the boat upside down. "What was that?" cried the ant. It was a bear. "Hey, look at this! What a perfect clown nose!" cried the bear. "Finders keepers!" Wearing his handsome red nose, the bear juggled and juggled until his nose started to tickle. Ah! Choo! The bear's nose went flying. It flew and flew until finally it landed near a flower patch. The next day, the squirrel returned. "There you are," he said to his hat, "exactly where I left you." He dug up his acorn and happily munched away. And that was the end of the story until someone else came along. "What a cool hat!" cried the snake. "Finders keepers!" You know, we like to say that we own things, that they're ours and nobody else's, and that the rules say we get to keep them and nobody else gets to have them. But the truth is, there are so many things in this world that really should be shared, that we shouldn't keep all to ourselves, because a lot of things in this world are going to be here even after we're gone. They were here before we came. Native Americans who lived in this country before settlers came, you'll learn all about that in history. They never understood how somebody could say they owned a mountain or a tree, because the mountain was there before anybody came, and the tree will still be there after everybody leaves. The truth is, nothing belongs to us. Everything belongs to God. God created it, and God lets us use it. Whether it's our house, or our car, or our clothes, or our bicycle, or our toys, or our money, all those things came to us because of God's blessing. And so they really belong to God. And God allows us to use them if we promise to take care of them and if we promise to use them. Let's start over. You know, we like to think that we own things. and that the more things we own, the more important we are. Rich people are so important because they own so much. The truth is, we don't really own anything. We were born with no clothes on. We didn't have anything except love. And one day, we'll have to die. We'll leave this earth, and we can't take anything with us. We don't own anything because it all really belongs to God. God created us. God created our parents. God created this wonderful world for us to live in. So our money, our toys, our clothes, our houses, our bicycles, our whatever, all come from God. They all belong to God. God lets us use them. In fact, God encourages us to use them and take care of them so that we can help God do the work that God wants us to do, and that's to make the world a better place. And so, if our parents have a car, they should use it occasionally to give a ride to somebody who doesn't have a car, or to go get groceries for somebody who can't go to the grocery store. If we have food, we ought to share that food with somebody who doesn't have any, so that neither one of us will be hungry. You see how this works? And if we have money, we're supposed to take care of it and not waste it, and give part of it back to God every single year to be used for God's purposes. There's a big word that describes all that. It's called stewardship. Stewardship is better than ownership because it recognizes that God is really in charge. And we want God to be in charge because God knows way more than we do about the best way to use things. So when you claim finders keepers, remember it's not really yours. And maybe somebody who needs it more than you do will come along, somebody who might have lost it. And then I hope you will give it back. I hope you will recognize it belongs to God and ought to be used to show kindness and compassion and generosity and forgiveness, because that's the way we love people. And that's the real business that God wants us to be involved in when we're on this earth. We're here to love everyone. And to help us to love everyone, God sent Jesus to come into our lives and show us how to love. And you know how much Jesus showed us how to love? Jesus showed us how to love us this much. So God bless you. God bless you that you remember always you are the beloved child God created you to be. Good night.